What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So, first off, massive shout out to my boy Steam. He has Conquer, but he hasn't really been playing much lately, so he was able to get me the GM node so that I could launch Insight Terminus because it was bugged because I claimed too many Conquer completions or whatever, which is very, very annoying. I'm filming this literally the day before I leave for a holiday. And yeah, anyways, so yeah, doing a last minute commentary. I'll schedule it for the week that Insight Terminus is up though. And you'll see I'm running Starfire Protocol, and that's for a very specific reason, which I'll get into in a second. But yeah, anyways, this GM isn't too tough. I've beat it in the past, and that's why I wanted to run Starfire Protocol, because way back in Season of the Haunted, like over 2 years ago, we had Classy Restoration and Starfire was really busted, and we even had Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifle, and we either had Unstoppable Glaive or Unstoppable GL. I can't remember. I know I've beaten this one with a Glaive and a GL in the past. So yeah, I used Outbreak in that mission. So I wanted to kind of do the same loadout that I did back then. So that Hobgoblin moved when I chucked out my first fusion grenade, but it's okay. We wind up getting the kill. Sorry. So yeah, anyways, I really like soloing this GM, and like I said, I thought it would be fun to do like the new version of this build. So I'm using an Unstoppable Sidearm, so it's still an Unstoppable Special, not a GL. I remember using a Blinding GL back then. It came in really handy for capping the plates because that is the toughest part of this Grandmaster. So basically, if you don't remember, how Starfire Protocol works is you put down an Empowering Rift, and then grenade kills give you your Rift back. So right there, I get my whole Rift back. And then if I was getting kills while in the Rift, I'm going to get a bunch of grenade energy. And if you're doing damage while in the Rift, you just get a bit of grenade energy. They tuned that way down from what it used to be because it was like seriously busted. But you can see these fusion nades still hit like a truck. They're really good. I was really impressed with how this build holds up. But yeah, in the past, I ran Touch of Flame and Icarus Dash, but I wanted to bring this build into the new age, so I ran Song of Flame instead of Well of Radiance, because Well's been nerfed and Song of Flame is crazy. And then I ran Hellion instead of Icarus Dash. And then I have a Demolitionist Sword Logic Arc Machine Gun. So the week I was filming this, it was Arc and Solar. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be around to do Void Week, which is really unfortunate because I really wanted to do another build that I did back in the day, which was my Controverse Void Lock with Wishender and Void Machine Gun. It absolutely demolished this GM, and that was back when Nova Bomb didn't hit near as hard. So this season with Expanding Abyss, and that was back when you only had one aspect, or like one fragment slot on one of the aspects. I can't remember which. I think it was the one that allows you to charge up your grenades. So now we can have 4, so I can get volatile rounds. So yeah, that build's super strong. So hopefully I can find a way to do it while Void Surge is on. But yeah, freaking Surges, man. So anyways, you can see this build is really good. Outbreak does struggle a little at range. I honestly, straight up, just prefer Revision 0 for solo stuff. For team stuff, especially if there's multiple Outbreaks, Outbreak's going to be way better. But yeah, there you can see we got 2 fusion grenades off. We have Ember of Ashes, so that's going to trigger an ignition. So yeah, absolutely slapped that, that Barrier Colossus. But yeah, Revision 0 as a solo player is just straight up better. It has better range, it hits harder on red bar ads, and then it's got the sniper mode to deal huge damage. But Outbreak is really nice on this boss, because this boss is very tanky. If you didn't know that, yeah, this boss has a lot of health. So Outbreak is great for that, so you don't have to rely on heavy ammo. And then you can use your sidearm, which is also really good for ammo economy, and machine gun for ad clear. And they're very good for ammo economy. So just watch at how much we wreck this part. So we have 2 fusion grenades, so we put down our Empowering Rift, and we get a fusion grenade kill, so that gives us our Rift right back. So that's kind of how you want to play this, is you put down a Rift and then chuck out your grenade so you can get it right back. And then we get our grenade right back because we're getting so many kills while empowered. And then we're just gonna throw both our fusion grenades. We cause an ignition. Hellions going. Just look at the destruction there. Absolutely melted. And we almost end right there because I have innervation on my boots. So when I pick up an orb, I get grenade energy. But even without that, I almost had both my grenades back. So yeah, Starfire Protocol still very, very good, especially in a GM like this, where there's lots of killing ads. And then, like I was saying, this boss is very tanky. So we can use our Empowering Rift to buff our damage with Outbreak. And then we're getting small chunks of grenade energy back as we're dealing damage with Outbreak. Not as much as it used to be, like I mentioned, but still pretty respectable. So obviously my buddy Steam loaded me in. So this was my first run of this. So I didn't really remember all the spawns. And then also my headset was dead. So I was just going through my speakers that I have for my computer. So I thought I heard something next to me. And yeah, there's the Scion. So that wasn't the best spot to be standing. So Well of Radiance would be nice here. I probably, like in this run, I should have been popping my Song of Flame super more. That was my bad. And this is honestly the first time I've ran Solar since Final Shape came out. So I didn't really realize that in Song of Flame, if you have Celestial Fire equipped, which I do, because we don't want to get up and close with this boss. So when you're in Song of Flame, it will do the Celestial Fire melee instead of the Snap melee, which kind of sucks. I wish it just always converted it to the Snap melee, but it is what it is. So here, we're just doing some nice damage on the Colossus, always spamming our grenades. They do huge damage with Touch of Flame. Go in there for the finish. And then I remembered, oh yeah, we gotta shoot this guy to trigger the next part. So like I said, I couldn't totally remember all what was coming. So yeah, I way prefer Incinerator Snap with Song of Flame, because the melee doesn't use very much super energy, and it hits harder. At least the Incinerator Snap hits harder than the than the little bird grenade thing that you get in Song of Flame. So yeah, I definitely just prefer to have Incinerator Snap, but again, it is what it is. So this part kind of sucks because you get pigeonholed down here, and there's these Scions on the right, so I'm just trying to take them out so that they don't shoot me from the side. And then once they're dead, I could rotate, but I don't know if I do. But yeah, watch the fusion grenades. So there, I put my Empowering Rift down after I threw the grenade, but when the grenade got the kill, it still gave me my Rift back. So you can see I already have a Rift. So that's another technique you can do if the enemies are far away. And then I always run fastball with these grenades because it just feels so much nicer. But yeah, look at that. Those two grenades absolutely rip. And Solar and Arc Surge were on, like I said. So I think Solar is all of Act 3. So it will be on when you're watching this as well. Because yeah, I'm running this right after Act 3 launched. So we were supposed to have the GM node, but it wasn't working or something for some reason. So yeah. And again, just look at that. We got Hellion damage going. We had our fusion rifle. Like, yeah. This build actually holds up really well. I do want to run it with some prismatic builds. I have some in mind. I was really looking forward to Void Surge. I kind of planned it around Void Surge, but it looks like that won't be up when I go to run it, which is whatever. So there we get a fusion grenade kill, then we get our Rift back, and then we're just gonna deal damage and try to take out some enemies and stuff. The Hellions going in. Yeah, like I said, this build just has crazy firepower. I was super impressed with it. Like I said, I hadn't played with it in a long time, and yeah, it's still really good. It doesn't quite have the amount of ability spam as like Prismatic, but and there, what the hell? Like, that nade didn't kill anything. That's kind of bullshit. But anyways, is what it is. So I popped my super here. Just going in, like I said, I don't love Celestial Fire in this super. But yeah, we take out a bunch of ads, which is nice. Get all those Scions down. And if you didn't know, Song of Flame refreshes all your abilities. So then I come out of it with all my abilities. So we're ready to deal a bunch of damage again. So there, we take out some legionaries and stuff. So I actually forgot there was 2 barrier colossus here. So I actually do come close to dying at one point here. And unfortunately, he shielded just as that Scion had come out. Oh yeah, and there's an unstop. But yeah, that stupid Scion on my right is being a huge pain in the ass right now. Because I'd like to get this barrier colossus down. So again, because of Ember of Ashes, we were able to cause an ignition, which deals some extra damage there. But yeah, really, I just want that Scion dead. Now that he's dead, I should rotate up, but I have to be careful because if those barrier colossus go into their machine gun mode, you're going to get melted very, very quickly. So we get the stun, and now we're able to go to our spot, use our Empowering Rift. And yeah, we're just going to spam our fusion grenades. So we want to stun that unstop first so that the splash damage can take them both out. And that was really, I can't say really. That was really well played. Unfortunately, I just took a tad too long to kill those champions. So we got another enemy spawn. I think they're on a timer, and if you don't kill the champions in time, more come. So if I had killed those champions like 10 seconds sooner, I wouldn't have had to waste all my machine gun ammo on these guys and scramble for my life and all this. So yeah, you want to try to take them out as quickly as possible if you can. Like I said, I had to be safe because that stupid Scion was there and he wasn't really peeking at a good time for me to take him out. So yeah. I have Arc Scavenger and Solar Scav on my boots because, again, there's a lot of adds in the boss room that we have to deal with. So I need as much heavy and special ammo as I can get. So I also kind of forgot about this guy, and he freaking comes and rushes me, which is super annoying. I'd like to just get him on spawn. What I should have done was thrown a fusion grenade. It would have got him to pop his shield right away, but that's not what I did, so then we get our little wombo combo off, make an ignition. It also gives us Radiant because I'm so used to calling it Facet of Dawn on Prismatic. Ember of Torches, that's the one. So here, you want to be in kind of a good position to... So when I came down off that rock, it kind of pushed me back. So that was not ideal. I wanted to be up more so I could have stayed in my Empowering Rift to keep doing damage. Then we just pop our Song of Flame. So another thing is Outbreak. Primary weapons give you like tons of super energy if you're dealing damage with them. And so like I said, I should just be spamming my Song of Flame a lot. And there we barely got the shield break. So I've got rewind rounds on my Outbreak, and it came in clutch throughout this Nightfall, as you can see. So back in the day when I did this, we didn't have rewind rounds, obviously, so I was reloading more. So that's really nice for just being able to lay in on the boss. You'll see we absolutely chunk this boss when it comes to damage time. So again, that was a little scuffed because there was still a gladiator up and I was trying to take on that barrier colossus, and I kept kind of falling because I wanted to use cover and not get hit by the guy. So I was playing a little reckless there, but we got it done. So I'm just going to speed this part up. So back in the day when there was fall damage, I died here a number of times just from like goofy stuff. Yeah, just physics deaths. Like literally just from landing. Like you just fall too fast. So I still stopped myself early. I almost die here too, actually, just by, again, playing a little recklessly. I thought that was it for goblins after this one. So I go into my reload animation. And then, yeah, he was actually pelting me pretty hard. So, yeah, I think there's 6 in there. So anyways, we're getting down here at about 15 minutes, which is honestly, I think, if I can recall correctly, kind of what I was doing in the past. But like I said, it is still kind of an old style build, just with Song of Flame and Hellion instead. But yeah, this build is like perfect for this GM. I just love it. So when you're capping the plates, if enemies get on it, it will stop the capture, and you have to stand on it for like a long time. So again, like I said, I didn't have my headset on, so I thought I heard the animation on one of the plate caps, that I had it captured, but I didn't. So yeah, it cost me some time here in the boss room. But like I said, that is by far the hardest part of this GM, is just capping those plates because a bunch of enemies rush you. But I'll talk about that when the time comes. So another thing I remembered from soloing it back then is you can go on this rock over here and pretty much just lay in without the boss being able to hit you, which is obviously really, really good. So we spam both our fusion grenades. I go up to the spot. We're going to put our empowering rift down. So here, I probably should have popped Song of Flame and just went in on him. So that's a time loss as well. But I was kind of saving it for like when the enemies came out. But I'd have been getting so much super energy because of all the damage we're doing with Outbreak, since it's a primary weapon and all. But yeah. So that was my bad. So again, then I should pop it here because now the enemies are out, but I'm not. So I don't really know why I was holding it for so long. I guess I was just trying to play cautious as well because like I said, I'm literally leaving on a holiday in like less than 12 hours. And I didn't want to keep bugging my buddy Steam like, oh yeah, I wiped, I need you to launch me again. Which was kind of good. Like I beat this and Devil's Lair back to back first try. Because I was playing a little more conservative, knowing that it wasn't easy for me to just launch. Because one thing I do sometimes is I do get a little reckless, which isn't good in a solo GM. So if you didn't know, kinetic weapons and solar weapons deal scorch damage when you're in Song of Flame. So I was mixing in some outbreak shots while I was dealing damage with the super. But again, if I had just snap, the incinerator snap, I would have been hitting that boss for more damage and my super would have lasted longer. So we'd have probably been on to the next step. But I still think it's better to run Celestial just because of, like I said, you don't want to get up on this boss. So when you're not in your super, which is the majority of the time, it's just straight up better to have Celestial Fire instead. So there, I did that technique where I put the rift down, then I got the grenade kill, so now I have my rift back, and then we're just slaying out. And again, I have Demolitionist on this, so when I chucked out that grenade, it gave me my... it refilled my ammo. And then there, in my machine gun. So, like I said, I thought I had it capped. I definitely could have stood in there and just worked that guy down, used a grenade on him, whatever. But I thought I heard the thing that the plate was captured, like the little sound cue. So now I have to scramble because now there's a whole bunch of enemies. And this is literally what you do to stay alive. You just keep running back and forth. There's those void guys in the middle. They hit pretty hard and they're kind of tanky. There, my Celestial Fire just straight up missed because he was jumping at the worst time. So yeah, just lots of dumb little bullshit. Like I said, this is the hardest part of the GM, is just capping these 3 plates because enemies always spawn. So what you want to do is you get the enemies down until there's just like, I think a couple legionaries and a couple of the backpack guys. And once it's those guys, then you can step on the plate. Because then you're able to take them down, and then it won't trigger. So what I should have done was got all those enemies to like half health, so that if they push me on the plate, I can take them out quickly and not die. Because again, I don't have a healing rift, and I wanted to save my Song of Flame if I could for a different plate. I wanted to use my Song of Flame on the last plate. But so there's kind of what I was talking about. Again, I couldn't remember the spawns exactly, but if you have a few enemies up, you can stand on that plate and it starts capping it, and then you take them out, but more ads won't spawn as long as some ads are up. So like I said, in the past, I actually used a blinding GL, so I could just keep those guys up, and it made it so much easier. So there, we get the sound cue, we get the visual cue, where the light kind of flashes a little bit, and now we have it. But more enemies spawned in, so again, now we're just going to be running for our life. I see I'm low on special ammo, so I want to be grabbing that. That's one nice thing with Song of Flame versus Well of Radiance. Well, Song of Flame is just a beast. It's probably the best super in the game. But we can, like, Well of Radiance, you're stationary. You're stuck in one spot to take advantage of it. Where this, it's like a mobile Well of Radiance that outputs a shit ton of damage. So it's good for going to pick up ammo and stuff, which you'll see me do. But I do want to take out some enemies, because if I had my snap melee, I probably would have just started capping the plate and take the gladiators out as they come up on me. But I didn't have it, so yeah, I'm just doing what I can, getting these guys low. Gonna take out most of the ads. So the backpack guys are up now, and then we're gonna pop our Song of Flame and just try to keep these guys off the plate, because you see the plate goes red there. So that means you're not getting progress for the plate capture. And then we had the legionaries up, which is good, because that meant more ads weren't going to be spawning. Or the incendiors, I should have said. So here's where it gets a little hairy. Just a little bit, because that guy was pushing me. So if I didn't kill him... So yeah, these rocket sidearms make this so much easier, because they hit like a truck on like these gladiators and stuff. And there we get off 2 really nice fusion grenades to take out the gladiators, the ones that I hit anyways, because they're kind of the biggest threat. They rush you down, but they only deal melee damage, so you can just run away from them, which is nice. But like I said, they rush you on the plate, and you don't want that when you're trying to cap the plate, obviously. So we get him down, and now I'm like, well, I don't want to start capping the plate without having rocket sidearm ammo. So I'm gonna try to get some ammo here before I cap the right plate. If I had ammo, I would have just hopped on it right there, because we have the 2 backpacks up. So I kind of bait them to this side, because I see I have a lot of special across the arena. So we're just gonna speed things up, because it's just a lot of me running around trying to find an opportunity to go in, which I'm struggling to do. More enemies spawned. So yeah, I think maybe both backpacks were up, so maybe you need still 2 legionaries up. So then luckily that guy drops me 2 special bricks, which is awesome. But now we have another set of enemies spawned in. So we're gonna have to take them out. Again, look at how strong these gladiators are in a GM. A Touch of Flame fusion grenade with Solar Surge wasn't enough to kill him there. So there, that got a little hairy. Because, yeah, that legionary, he was doing his arc shotgun blasts, where I thought he was going to go melee mode like he did after. So, yeah, that was a little scary, but we got out of it. So we're taking out the gladiators. I don't want to reload my machine gun, because I hate reloading. So then I just chuck a grenade to reload it. And then when I chucked that grenade, I took out 1 incendior and I think 2 legionaries, which was kind of perfect timing, because I was ready to cap that plate. So yeah, like I said, there's like a little timer once those guys are dead that these ads are going to come in. But this time we get the sound cue before that gladiator pushed us on the plate, thank God. So we didn't have to cap it again. And now we're just going to focus on the ads. What I probably should have done here was just cast Song of Flame to take them all out. Especially because I'm out of abilities too. And yeah, that boss will move around, so that was a little dangerous, but whatever. Oh yeah, I'm probably saving my Song of Flame super for boss damage. Because, like I said, the rocket sidearms are really good for taking out the enemies. And I had a ton of ammo on the ground. So now I have no idea where that boss went. So I'm just trying to kind of bait him out. There he is. So again, I should have popped Song of Flame, because I can get so much super energy when I'm doing this. But I guess I'm just going to do this, wait for the next ad spawn, and then pop Song of Flame, which actually in hindsight is probably pretty smart. And then, so we have Empowering Rift, so that's upping our damage of our Outbreak. And Hellion is going in, doing a bunch of damage to the boss. So yeah, Hellion pairs perfectly with this build, because you're casting so many rifts. Because Starfire is like just giving you your rift back. So And then again, we've got all our abilities right back, which is so nice. So we just chuck out a couple fusion grenades, which does like big AoE with the ignition. And obviously I wanted to go in heavy there with Outbreak, but there was just too many ads. So we have to retreat. And here's where Demolitionist is so nice. Look, I'm getting grenade energy every time I get a kill. Then when my machine gun's low, like it is now, there I had to get out because I was taking fire. Then we just chuck our grenade. Now we're going to get our rift back. Keep taking out enemies. Got another grenade. Pop the rift. Just killed that guy as my rift animation was done, so I actually got my rift back. And then we're just going to go in with Outbreak. And I knew we had enough to kill there before the enemies were going to become a real big threat. And we take them out. So yeah, this build, super, super strong. Loved running it. It was actually really fun to not run Prismatic for once. And to just run an old build that, yeah, it was kind of from the first season that I started soloing all the GMs and stuff. So it was a nice little throwback. So anyways, if you're still here, thanks so much for watching to the end, and take care.